Hey guys, as promised yesterday, we are doing the Worship Team Bass Project 2026 update. Don't forget that there's a fun part of the project where you get to potentially win a free bass. If you want to participate in that, just go to citizenguitars.com and click the link at the top. So like I said, we're about halfway through and we've gotten probably half the submissions so far. I went through the data and I'm going to share what's the most popular and what we're probably gonna build as a result. By the way, I'm more of a guitar guy, so I think the way I'm gonna talk about the bass is that's probably gonna show. So first off, number one most popular configuration is a 5-string, then it was followed by 4-string. There was a pretty big margin here. And then 6-string, it was a really big margin, so it's looking like not good news for the 6-string bass players. Probably have to just keep that to the custom shop. And then in terms of body shapes, the J bass style is the number one, and then the number two was the P bass style. If you're familiar with our lineup, you know that we do a lot of J basses, and so maybe we should just not go with the most popular one and we should just make some P basses. By the way, I'm gonna show a mock-up pretty soon, but first talk about the pickups. Number one pickup was Aguilar, and second place was tied between Bartolini and Duncan. And then I realized just while combing through the data that we actually didn't ask what pickup configuration. So if you could comment or let us know somehow what pickup configuration. You know, there's soap bars in the bridge position, jazz pickups, there's P pickups, there's Music Man pickups. And so just knowing the brand isn't really sufficient. I forgot and need to know what pickup configuration we should be going for, so could definitely use some help there. Regarding the preamp, once again, Aguilar came up top. And then, interestingly, Dark Glass was second. And here's another spot where I could use some help. Do we want the preamp to be a 3-band? So that's bass, mids, and treble, or just 2-band, so bass and treble. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the computer and get a mock-up. I'll put it on the screen here. Okay, so here we can see that the body shape is the P style, and the body wood is alder. And the most popular color requested was natural. You can't tell by the mock-up, but the most popular scale length was 34 inches. And then by far, 24 fret was most requested. Now, if we go down to the bridge, the spacing there at the bridge, everyone's wanting 19 millimeter. That's 3/4 inch. And fixed bridge took like 98% of the votes. If you need a bass trem, I guess, yeah, that'll be a custom shop thing. If you already submitted your bass specs through the project, you'll remember that at the very bottom there was just a blank text box that had a space to add comments. I combed through all of those comments and we were able to find some pretty important stuff that was mentioned a lot. Active passive switch was frequently requested. Black hardware was requested a lot. And then finally, maple necks. That was requested a lot too. Okay, so the final request for help on this one, if the body is going to be natural, do we want a pickguard or do we want no pickguard? I'll put some mock-ups on the screen and yeah, let me know what you think looks best. So here we have one with a parchment pickguard, and then this next one here is a tortoise pickguard, and then after that we got a white pickguard, and then here is a black pearloid pickguard. This next one's a white pearloid. And then here we got a just solid black. And finally here we have one with no pickguard. So yes, once again, if it's a natural body, do we want a pickguard? Yes, or maybe no pickguard. All right, that is the Worship Team Bass Project 2026 update. Thanks for watching and adios.